here in Massachusetts. I've been covering the race here in Massachusetts with Ed Markey and Joe Kennedy III. And I just want to update everyone that the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, the one who really slammed anybody who would run a primary against an incumbent. Matter of fact, there is I know for a fact that if you primary somebody, a Democrat, someone who is in power, an incumbent, and you are a consulting firm and you work on that campaign, you get blacklisted. Okay. And this is because they try to discourage anyone primarying somebody who's currently in Congress. Now, that didn't, I'm going to take my time with this one because when you see hypocrisy, you point it out and you run it in the ground. The thing that bothers me about this is while they have been blacklisting consulting firms that are working with people who primary incumbents, they went ahead and primaried Ilhan Omar. They primaried Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib. Do you see Tlaib? You see the trend here? They're primarying progressives. Well, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, decided to endorse someone who was primarying an incumbent, Ed Markey. Joe Kennedy III is, obviously he's related to the Kennedys. I've covered him before. He's a cornball. I don't even really have to get to the politics. His politics are like from the 90s. He's against the legalization of marijuana to begin with, when the city of Boston already decriminalized marijuana. You could smoke right with the police officers and, well, not with them, but they could pass you by and just keep on smoking. Don't ask me how I know. The point is that Joe Kennedy III is running a campaign that is antiquated, and he's running on his legacy. He's running on the fact that he's related to the Kennedy, that he is a Kennedy. He is not nearly as progressive as Ed Markey, not nearly concerned about the working people of this country as Ed Markey. And that's why Nancy Pelosi endorsed them, because this Democratic Party is not committed to working people, period, end of conversation. The hypocrisy, though, the hypocrisy of Nancy Pelosi to come out here and endorse Joe Kennedy III against somebody who has been working in the Senate, across the hall from the House, has been working on behalf of Democratic politics in general. Right? He's been a good Democrat, but he's also been a good Democrat for working people, which is two totally different things if you've been following politics any amount of time. So anyway, according to the Boston Globe, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is endorsing Representative Joseph P. Kennedy III in his primary challenge of incumbent Senator Edward J. Markey, a boost for the challenger in what polls suggest is a neck-and-neck race. And here's what she said. Never before have times demanded we elect courageous leaders as today, and that is why I'm proud to endorse Joe Kennedy for Senate. And actually, there's a video here. So let's listen to Nancy Pelosi's hypocrisy from her own mouth.
Never before have the times demanded we elect courageous leaders as today, and that is why I'm proud to endorse Joe Kennedy for Senate. In 2018, when we took back the House, Joe campaigned across America to make that victory possible. He knows that to achieve progressive change, you must be on the front lines leading movements of people. Massachusetts and America need Joe Kennedy's courage and leadership in the Senate to fight for the change we need. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not welcome. Thank you, my ass. No. The hypocrisy is enough to make you vomit. Primary everybody. Hashtag primary everybody. And if you're good, you stay. If you're not, you're gone. Right? Because all of this blacklisting people because they dare to primary an incumbent, that's got to end. Because you see, the Democratic establishment will absolutely primary you if they don't like your particular brand of Democratic politics. And the brand of politics they don't like are people who fight for working people. Let's just keep it clear. They do not like people who come up there and fight on behalf of working people. That's why they primaried AOC, but she dominated and won. That's why they primaried Ilhan Omar, but she dominated and won. That's why they primaried Rashida Tlaib, but she dominated and won. And we're going to help Ed Markey win. At least I am. I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to help him win. If we're going to primary anybody, primary everybody, and see how many people from the establishment, the Miss Leadership class, the Black Miss Leadership class. There's a lot of good, I can name a couple that I used to admire. Black politicians from the community that I used to admire, right? Because, they were the distinguished congressmen from the 19th or the 20th district, depending on which year you lived in Florida. I love Alcee Hastings. Primary him. Jim Clyburn, South Carolina. Primary him. Primary everybody. And watch a new generation of politicians. Hell, I might get in on some of this primary business, but I like being on the outside, being a rabble rouser. But seriously, we need to get these people out of office because they will turn on you and they will ensure that you yourself get primaried while telling everyone else not to primary because that's not what we want to do. We don't want to do that. And here she is endorsing someone primarying a good Democrat. I mean, he's worked with the Democrats. And he's been a good progressive in that he's been fighting on behalf of working people. Kiss our asses, collective asses. Nancy Pelosi, we're primarying everybody.
Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and get twice the content and unfiltered interviews without any of the commercial interruptions.
And here we go. At this point in every single episode, I'd like to take a minute to thank the people who make the show possible, our patrons. Very special welcome to Paige. Thank you for becoming a patron. Stephanie, thank you for becoming a patron. Matthew Dooley, thank you for becoming a patron. Angry Panda, thank you for becoming a patron. Sullihan, thank you for becoming a patron. Wait a minute, everybody, just bop your head. Claudia Aros, thank you for becoming a patron. Amanda Fairholt, thank you for becoming a patron. Tony Fedora, Tamara Tompkins, thank you for becoming patrons. You too can become a part of this prestigious and prodigious patron family by going to patreon.com/The BPD Show, where you get twice the content, uncut, unfiltered interviews, none of the commercial interruptions, and you give me the ability to speak truth to power, whether the powerful like it or not. Bop with me.